Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. I have some breaking news to bring to you that I just got in here just a few minutes ago. Uh, this could be huge, so we'll run with it and see what happens here. It says WikiLeaks just dumped everything. This is huge. Historic activity by WikiLeaks. Read and share before it's taken down. That's the way this reads. This is off of nationnews.com. It says, notice this is a developing story. It is being actively updated and information comes available. Please check back for updates. Last dated 4:23 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which was 12:54 p.m. Eastern, United States. The final update that it has here was at 4:24 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10/18/2016, which was 12:24 a.m. Eastern United States time. New article will collate results of the breaking news article here. Link to be added once article is completed. And there is a hyperlink there that you can click on. If you go to this URL that's in my description of the video, and it will article. And when it does, you can click on that and get the updates on it. It says WikiLeaks has not addressed the court decision ending Julian Assange's appeal against his warrant in Sweden. No proof of life given since the claim of a raid on the embassy. Only this tweet. And the tweet says, with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange in the news, we're seeing a lot of errors. Check the facts. JusticeForAssange.com. And I do have that link too that I'll be talking about in a minute. It says, WikiLeaks claims the media has a lot of misinformation. Embassy will not confirm he is at the embassy. Leaks were delayed throughout the day. Update at 4:54 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, or 12:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Information circulating that suggests there are more members of WikiLeaks impacted, not just Assange at the embassy. WikiLeaks has someone still posting regardless. And there's some tweets here that you can look at. There was an update previous to that one. This is going in reverse. It says, it appears WikiLeaks has signaled all operatives to take measures to protect themselves. Lucifer 2.0 has indicated he is ready for the next release. Looks like Podesta 10 is still coming, but possibly just late. Also developing story, RT Media's bank accounts closed in the UK, suspected close ties to WikiLeaks or propaganda, we don't know. We'll start new article on that story soon. Prior to that, it was WikiLeaks has missed its own deadline to post next release of Podesta emails. London police still refuse to comment. Embassy still refuses to confirm if Julian Assange is on the property. WikiLeaks communication channels are completely silent. WikiLeaks website is still intermittent, reason unknown. And it keeps kind of going back from there. So if you want to take a look at that article, the URL is in the description of this video. And then I have one here that is called Justice for Assange. It says UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has found that Julian Assange is being arbitrarily and unlawfully detained by Sweden and the United Kingdom, and that he must be immediately released and compensated. The working group spent 16 months investigating the case before issuing the opinion. The process was adversarial. The UK and Sweden took part by making submissions to the working group. And you can click on a link to read more there. The article goes on and says, Justice for Assange has issued a fact checker. There is also a note for writers and journalists. Assange has spent over 4 years in the Embassy of Ecuador. Read our timeline to learn the key developments in the case. Journalist John Pilger's article, Julian Assange, The Untold Story of an Epic Struggle for Justice, is to date one of the best accounts of the miscarriage against Assange in this case. And you can click there to read more on that. Press release, UK refuses hospital visits for MRI and diagnosis, October the 14th of 2015. Press conference today, Now, this, keep in mind, this is a year old. Press conference today, Ecuadorian Foreign Minister Ricardo Patino read out a letter from Assange's UK doctor who conducted a medical examination in August. The letter says that he is in constant and severe pain, which is growing worse and has been present since June 2015. The doctors stated that an MRI scan needs to be performed. This can only be carried out in hospital. Dr. Wood's letter dated 14 August 2015 states he has been suffering with constant pain to the right shoulder region for the past 3 months since June of 2015. There's no history of acute injury to the area. I examined him and all movements of his shoulder, abduction, internal rotation, and external rotation are limited due to pain. I'm unable to elicit the exact cause of his symptoms without the benefit of further diagnostic tests, including MRI. End of quote. The cause is unknown. There was no fall or injury. The source of this medical condition can only be diagnosed with hospital equipment that cannot be brought into the embassy due to the size and weight. Ecuador wrote to the UK's Foreign and Commonwealth Office, FCO, on 30th of September 2015 to request that Mr. Assange be permitted to go to the hospital under conditions agreed upon by the UK and Ecuador. They can guard the car with 10,000 police officers if they wish. The safe passage would be for a few hours in order to allow Mr. Assange to be able to have medical tests undertaken and in order to diagnose the case or the cause. The UK FCO replied on October the 12th that it would not permit the safe passage to the hospital for purposes of medical tests. Assange's U.S. lawyer, Kerry Schenkman, said, by claiming that Mr. Assange must give up his asylum in order to receive medical treatment, the UK government is forcing him to choose between the human right to asylum and the human right to medical treatment. No one should ever have to face that choice. Sweden and the United Kingdom have the responsibility to ensure that Assange's basic rights are respected. They should agree without further delay to permit Mr. Assange safe passage to hospital on humanitarian grounds. End of quote. Foreign Minister said that even times of war and conflict, safe passage are given for humanitarian reasons to ensure that persons are given the medical attention they need. For 3 years, both the UK and Swedish governments have failed to grant Mr. Assange safe passage or a guarantee of no onward extradition to the United States. For 3 years, Mr. Assange has been denied liberty, adequate medical treatment, and access to sunlight. 3 years is longer than any sentence Mr. Assange would serve in Sweden if he were actually charged and tried in Sweden. To date, he has never been charged. Further information, Ecuadorian government statement, and there is a link you can click on there to read that. Center for Constitutional Rights on Assange Situation, August 2015, and a link where you can click to read that. There is background information here that you can read. There are frequently asked questions in this that you can read to get more information on all of that. But that is the breaking news that I have for you on this, and that's all I have for now. Bye.